All right, guys, we're going to be jumping right into the entertainment sphere here because why not? So, in the Bollywood, what do they call it in Pakistan?
Lollywood.
Lollywood sphere here, we've got two cats we're going to talk about. First one being from Bollywood, Hrithik Roshan. Second cat from Lollywood.
Harman Baweja.
All right, so we stumbled onto these photos of Harman Baweja recently here, and this just shocked me, okay? Now, guys, pause the video, Google up the name Harman Baweja, Pakistani actor, Bollywood, whatever you want to do. Take a look at his before. This guy's about in his mid-40s. Yeah, he is. He's 45. And there's pictures of him from when he was 20 years ago to now. He looked like Hrithik Roshan's twin brother. I kid you not. There's some photos I thought it was the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you look at him, he's just a fat mofo, out of shape. And that's cool if you got white hair. I got white hair too. Just for Men hooks me up too, okay, guys?
Me too.
But at the end of the day, it's how are you doing? Now, I was a big mofo back in my 20s. I reversed myself. This guy, Harman, is a rich actor in a part of the world where money really counts.
Yeah.
It counts out here too, but in that part of the world, that gets you a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has chosen to really reverse himself. Hrithik Roshan looks like Hrithik Roshan from 2000 to 2025.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, this cat, on the other hand, has decided, I'm just going to give up in life. He's let himself go. There's a picture on the within the Google search where he's in a Netflix background. So maybe he's doing some kind of a show for Netflix, or he's at some kind of an event.
Yeah.
And this guy's, he's wearing a fitted shirt that's not tucked in. Which, guys, come on, okay? Know how to dress. When I was a big dude, I knew how to dress too. I was covering my fat at all times. So the point we're trying to make here is we're talking about Muhammad's question from before on habits, how to keep yourself going. We're talking about from our prior videos here on keeping a dignified life. Why? Now, let's jump into dignity here.
Dignified life, yeah.
Let's go into dignity here,
Yes,
okay?
100%.
Now, Harman Baweja today, this actor, is, let's just make a hypothetical. He is a medical doctor. He's a specialist. He's a cardiac surgeon, cardiac specialist. Hrithik Roshan today is just driving the city bus for a living. They're both out. They're single. They've had their 2 kids, 3 kids, whatever. They're divorced. They're looking to meet some femininas and have a little bit of companionship. She meets the guy. Same girl goes on the same date with the same guy. I mean, with those 2 guys. Harman Baweja being overweight, Hrithik Roshan is still being Hrithik Roshan. Now we're talking about the importance of habits again. We're talking about items like dignity, speech, posture, training. Why do these things matter? That same female, let's just say she's 45 years old and she's also divorced, single, looking for companionship. She's going to want to meet someone who looks dignified. Someone who says, when he walks into the room, here's who I'm with. Because whether you're young, in your 20s or in your 40s, you're always looking for someone, when you introduce them to your family and friends, they're like, whoa, how did you meet that person? Nobody sits there and looks at someone and says, man, I'm just laughing all day long. Harman Baweja, that actor, if he came in saying, I'm a cardiac surgeon, that chick is going to say, telling her friends, oh, wow, he's this accomplished. But they'll look at him and say, that's all he's got. Yeah.
He's nothing really else with.
Right? You got the guy who's driving the city bus. You know what they're going to say? Even though he looks like us are here. Nice, fit.
No, it looks like you.
And this and that. But they're going to say he's driving the city bus. He's, well, again, the habits are in place. He's dignified. He's got good speech. Let's just say he's been a city bus driver for 20 years. The doctor might say, I don't hang out with people like that. He can't get himself a real job. He can't level up. But that same out-of-shape doctor is out of shape. And I used to have those customers at my store, those out-of-shape doctors come. I had one out-of-shape doctor come who actually was a cardiac. I remember he was a resident.
No way.
He was a resident, and he was, I thought he was in housekeeping.
Really?
He always came in scrubs.
Yeah.
But he was so out of shape and fat.
Yeah.
And then he'd always come and buy Sports Select. And then the one day we got into a conversation and I saw his tags. I thought it was a housekeeping tag. It said on there resident. And I asked him, what do you do? And he says to me, he was actually in this Harman Baweja guy was this doctor from back in the day.
Yeah.
in hindsight now as we're talking.
Yeah.
And this doctor at the end of the day, and he comes out and says to me, I'm a residency, I'm in cardiac care. And I sat there, I stood there looking at him thinking, you're like 80 pounds overweight, talking to people about cardiac care. Look at you. I remember telling you the story back in the day. I remember that story because I'm like, he was so out of shape.
Yeah.
And he's in cardiac care. Back to dignity. Now, my father is a Canadian educated engineer. Back in the 80s, we had a big oil bust, boom and bust. He lost his job, never got back into the engineering field again. And he came to this country not to do immigrant work, and that's where he got stuck. So we ended up in these stores and stuff like that. Now, as time went on, we had our own location, and customers would get to know us. A lot of customers, my dad used to get hit on by female customers all the time. Not one or two. He's a colored guy at the end of the day. White women. And he had one moment happen once. And my dad is a very well-dressed man. Hair, he dyes he dyes correctly. He would always, even though he's standing behind a cash register, have creased pants. He had combed hair.
Yeah.
He always shaved. He looked like a man who respected himself. Now, our store was located right outside of downtown.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of high-end customers come who were from other parts of the city through our area into downtown. They became personal friends of my father. Why did they become personal friends? When we left the business, they wanted to keep in touch with us.
Yeah.
Because they would say, it's how you carry yourself, how you maintain yourself. You might be someone where when we came through your store the first time, where the guy is standing at the gas station behind a till, but now we know you're the owner of the location.
Yeah.
It's how you talk to us. It's how you handle conflict resolution, your demeanor, your vocabulary, your posture. The way you conduct yourself is in our sphere, but that's just your discipline.
Yeah.
Dignity, boys. Dignity counts.
Yes.
So you go back to this. We were talking about Harman Baweja as an example.
Yeah.
I actually had that customer back in the day.
Yeah.
And I saw him one time at a restaurant in the city, and he came to me say, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Yeah. Oh, no way.
And he looked just as bad then, but he was with his other doctor buddies. And he didn't want to introduce me to his doctor buddies because he didn't know that I had my own white-collar job. He thought I was just the guy behind the till. And I picked up on that energy pretty quick. And I remember standing there thinking to myself, dude, look at you and look at them.
Right.
If you're embarrassed to be, because he didn't want to introduce me as the gas station clerk.
Ah.
That's the truth.
Right.
But he always talked to me, and I picked up on that energy, and I never really saw him too much after that again. No loss, no harm, no foul here, okay? But at the end of the day, even he was being very proper about what dignity looks like. Because in his educated group, he just saw me as the gas station clerk. I'm looking at him the whole time thinking, if I told people that this is my buddy, the doctor cardiac, and he's 80 pounds overweight, they're going to say, can't you find skinny friends in shape?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious, guys. But back to the example, what I was saying. So we had one female customer in particular was talking to my dad one day, and she asks him out of the blue. She was a regular customer at this point, and she says, well, you must come from a royal background. And my dad thought she was trying to have jokes in a negative way, make fun of him. And he, cautiously approached the conversation. And then as they kept on talking, he says, no, I'm not trying to make fun of you or this. I have been coming to your business for X amount of time. I see the way you conduct yourself, the way you speak, your language skills, the way you're dressed, the way you handle yourself. This is not a quality that's taught in general. You have to develop these through higher learning. And she says, I'm asking you seriously, do you come from a royal background from where you're from back home?
Yeah.
And he told her, he says, if I came from a royal background, I would not be doing this for a living, okay? Nobody wants to be doing that, okay?
Yeah.
But then he told her about a bit of his story and so on and so forth. So my father was telling me the story and saying, This is the importance, young guys, old guys, whatever you are, of dignity, of maintaining yourself, of how you carry yourself with people, because people will always look at the details. My father was just the guy running the business. People didn't know the story. They just saw an older male working on a cash register, and all the stereotypes are going to come behind that. We know that. But this wasn't the only customer. There was no shortage of customers, and the same thing. Customers knew, I'm my father. My mom, my mother was there. This is their son. He's working. But people would always say, "Are you taking over the business?" No. I went to school. I have my own education. I have my own career too. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, is how people will look at you and say, "Look at the drop off." We had a customer come and say, "Are you from a royal background?" Because of your demeanor. And then you've got this cardiac residency student at that time who, and rightfully so, he had a right to have his head full. And he was from back home too. I don't know which country, but he came from a back home country. And he's going to be thinking, well, I've become successful and I'm living out in this part of the world. But he was 80 pounds overweight. And no one's going to be giving him respect when he walks in. Even at your place of work, we've got, all places of work, we've got people on both sides of the scale. It's a dignity, though. So let's take that the Hrithik Roshan example of a bus driver and the cardiac Harman Baweja example. No, and you say to yourself, he's going to be, they're out and about, they're looking forward to meet a girl. The bus driver guy is going to be pulling in the chick. Why? She's going to say, well, look at the way he dresses. Look at the way he is. Look how he's doing. She's not going to say he's a bus driver. She's going to be thinking he's got a dignified job of 20 years. He's steady. We put qualities into beauty. So when we talk about things like how do you build that chi, how do you build that habit, how do you build that strength to go from A to Z, the real key here, guys, is you look at where you're going to be when you focus on respecting yourself day to day. You reach a certain threshold where that day starts to become, it's not even habitual, it's who you are. You look better.
Yeah, everything is better. You carry yourself better, your posture's better, you're nicer to people.
I'm a geriatric.
Work ethic's better.
Yeah. I'm a geriatric by age now, boys. I'm in my set out for pasture years. I've been in the gym for 7 months straight. I got a guy sizing me up half my age. You don't know how big of a flex that is for a 45-year-old. Having guys half of his age sizing him up. Not in the sense where they want to fight with me, but they're looking at me and saying, this guy's bringing it. I got guys in my age bracket looking at me thinking, what are you doing? You used to be just an obese piece of shit. When I say you have to get through those mental break points, it's true. Then you reach a point where you say, this is easy. How do you get to that point? Day in and day out, guys. Your mind will hit that point where it's going to say, I'm one standard deviation better than the competition. So what happens if I keep nudging forward? Get to 2 standard deviations, 3, 4, 5, infinity. That's the point we're trying to get you guys to. We've gone through real work, real journey. We're not selling you on sex. We're not like these online guys who've made money off of sex. And now they're trying to act like they're gangsters. I don't want to name names because I don't want to get sued by nobody. But we all know who they are. And if you guys don't know, then whatever. We're trying to show you how to get ahead in life through white collar, blue collar, whatever in between. You don't have to do drugs. You don't have to go into bad habits. Now, I'm not saying we're the right program for you, but we've gone through a journey that we know you're going to be going through.
Please like, comment, subscribe. Helps the algorithm. And who do you want to be? Comment down below. Hrithik Roshan or Harman Baweja?
Google them up, guys. Google them up.
Yeah, please Google them up if you don't not familiar. Who do you want to be? Cheers.